Ever stare at a quadratic equation and just feel stuck? Well, forget about all that guesswork and anxiety. Today, we're going to master a really powerful step-by-step method called splitting the middle term. In just the next few minutes, you'll see exactly how to solve equations just like this one clear step at a time.
Yeah, I know, an expression like this can look a little intimidating at first glance. You've got numbers all over the place. The number next to x squared, the one in the middle, the one at the end. But the key isn't to just guess your way through it. There's a solid method, a way to use those outside numbers, the 6 and the 10, to crack the code of that middle number, 19. Just think of it like a puzzle we're about to solve together.
And this is our roadmap. It's a simple 4-step blueprint that takes all the guessing right out of the equation. First, we find what I call the master product. Then, we hunt for a magic pair of numbers. After that, we use them to split the middle term, and finally, we group and extract our way to the answer. It's a system that just works, so let's get into it.
All right, let's kick off phase 1, the quadratic puzzle. Our entire mission right now is to find two very special numbers, our magic pair. Seriously, these two numbers are the key that's going to unlock this whole thing. Let's go find them.
Step 1 is super simple. We just take the very first number, the 6, and we multiply it by the constant at the very end, the 10. And boom, that gives us 60. This number, 60, is our target product. It's the first big piece of our puzzle.
So, here's the deal. We're on the lookout for two mystery numbers, and they have to do two things at the same time. Thing 1, they have to multiply together to give us our target product, 60. And thing 2, they have to add up to that number in the middle of the equation, 19.
So how do we find them? Well, we just test the factors of 60. We could try 10 and 6. They multiply to 60, which is great. But do they add up to 19? Nope, they add to 16, so that's not it. Okay, what about 12 and 5? Again, they multiply to 60, but they add up to 17. Still no match. And then we hit the jackpot. 15 and 4. They multiply to 60, and they add up to 19. Bingo. That is our magic pair.
We did it! We found our magic numbers, 15 and 4. You know what? The hardest part is officially over. So now we move to phase 2, executing the plan. It's time to put our magic pair to work and start breaking down that middle term. This right here is the split we've been talking about. We take our original equation, and right where that 19 used to be, we're just going to swap it out with our magic pair inside parentheses, 15 plus 4. Just notice, nothing else has changed. The 6x squared, the minus sign, the x, and the plus 10, they're all still exactly where they were. All we've done is trade 19 for 15 plus 4.
Okay, now we need to expand this out, and you have to be careful here. We're distributing two things into that bracket. From the left, that negative sign is coming in, and from the right, the x is coming in. So the negative sign and the x both hit the 15, giving us minus 15x. Then that same negative sign and the x hit the 4, giving us minus 4x. So our original minus 19x has now been perfectly split into minus 15x minus 4x.
Okay, so now our equation has 4 separate terms, which is perfect because we can group them into two pairs. Let's look at that first pair. 6x squared minus 15x. What's the biggest thing we can pull out of both? It's 3x, right? And that leaves us with 2x minus 5. Great. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for the second pair, negative 4x plus 10. But there's a really important rule we need to watch out for here.
All right, pause for a second, because this is probably the most critical step where people make mistakes. For our second pair, negative 4x plus 10, notice the first term is negative. That's a huge signal. It means we have to pull out a negative common factor, which in this case is negative 2. And that triggers the golden rule. When you factor out a negative, you have to flip the signs of everything left inside the bracket. So negative 4x divided by negative 2 becomes a positive 2x, and that positive 10 divided by negative 2 becomes a negative 5. And would you look at that? This is the big aha moment. Let's call it the alignment check. See how the stuff inside both brackets is now exactly the same? We have 2x minus 5 in both places. That's not a coincidence. That is the proof right there that our magic pair was the right one and that we've done every step correctly. We are absolutely on the right track.
We are on the home stretch now. All the really heavy lifting is done. So let's just assemble these last few pieces and get our final answer.
So the final step is actually beautifully simple. You take the two terms that are sitting outside the brackets, for us that's the 3x and the negative 2, and you just put them together in their own bracket, 3x minus 2. And what's your second bracket? It's simply that identical one we worked so hard to get, 2x minus 5. And there you have it. The whole expression is now fully factored.
So let's just quickly look back at the whole journey. We started with what looked like a complicated problem. We found our magic pair, we split the middle term, we expanded it out, and then we grouped and factored our way to the solution. See? It's a perfect system. It's an execution that means you never, ever have to guess.
So what we've really done here is so much more than just solve one single equation. We've actually learned a blueprint, a reliable, repeatable method for cracking these kinds of quadratic puzzles, which really just leaves one question for you. Now that you have the blueprint, what puzzle are you going to solve next?